Hi, welcome to episode 2 of our learning series of how to become an AWS expert. We are building on the previous episode of how to make an account, and in this video we will focus on using the cost and usage widget within the Cost Explorer. This is very important as once this is set up, we can then track our usage across accounts for all of our services that we're using and make sure that we have alarms and things set up. So let's begin on diving deep in the cost and usage widget. First, we're going to turn on the Cost Explorer. And so here we're sent to the Billing and Management console. Obviously, there's nothing going on in this account because it's brand new, but we can have here our bills or payments, any credits we have, things like that. So, but if we go back, we can now see that this is here, and we can see that we've recently visited the billing and cost management. So from here, let's try and set up our budgets. They have a lot of information on how to build these things. That's the thing with AWS that I like, is that when you go to a service or something, there's a lot of information on that page about it. So let's just create a budget. We can use a template. We can use a zero spend because I'm cheap. I don't want to spend any money. So if anything is being used, it will then alert me. And so we can see that for the budget name, it's just this. If we use any of these other ones, or we set up a custom one, all these will go blank. Since we're using a template here, we can use this. So let me put my email in, and I will see you on the next page after I press create budget. So once I created a budget, I'm then sent to this page where I can see all these different fields, my budget being $1, my amount used being 0. Because I have no usage yet, the forecasted amount is also 0. What that means, the forecast amount, what that means is, so let's say I have an app. It uses like API Gateway, Lambda, and a DynamoDB table. AWS knows the usage for those services. And so based off of what I've currently used, plus the amount of time left in the month, or whatever amount of time, it can then calculate how much money approximately I'll end up at the end of that month, or whatever that set time is. So that amount can go here, and when we click into this, we can see our dashboard here with no alerts and our amounts and things. So let's go into the alerts. So this is very important. So as we can set up alerts, this will then notify us if there's any usage. If this budget is then hit, then it will trigger a notification to our email. So let's add a new alert. A budgeted amount for $1. We could add a threshold. So we want to use absolute value to go, I like to say like 1 cent. If I don't want any budget. Now if I care to pay the $1, then I can set it to $1. But then we can add email recipients, and then we can create the alert. So let me do that. Once I created that alert and added my email, I'm then sent to this page where I can add actions. And so what actions are basically, let's say your amount is hit, so like your budget is then hit. What the action would do is then, based off like the role you specify, you can create a role to basically quit executions. So let's say there's this Lambda that's being constantly invoked. It hits the budget, and so we can then turn that Lambda off. We can then prohibit it from activating again. And so we can add actions, but for this video, I'm not going to bother because I'm going to monitor this myself and be notified of anything. But since we don't have any services that are live or any roles created, then we can't make an action for those services. So I'll just click next. And we can review these things and click save. So now we have a budget. And so if we go back to home, we can then see cost monitor, budget status okay, no anomalies, and our monitor is active. And then we go back to the main page. We can see I recently visited billing and cost management. And that's it. You now have a budget set up. You now have an email that is monitoring your usage. So, and of course, budgets will change, but this is very important. As you begin to use AWS, and as you use AWS, the fear of increased costs will go up. And so doing this now is a preventative measure so that fear can go away. I want to thank you for watching this video, and please let me know of any questions in the comment section, or please find me on campus. I'm free to answer any questions about this, and please let me know if you need anything else. Thank you.